Hey, Algebra 2 Honors, this is the Unit 14, actually it's Unit 17, that's a typo, sorry about that. It's the Unit 17 review for probability. So at the top, this is really just stuff that I'd want you to know before taking your test, as far as some of the formulas that we've dealt with for our conditional probability, for or, for and. Remember that only works if the events are independent. Just kind of some general knowledge, very symbolic representations of what we know about probability up here. This is all vocabulary that you've seen a lot throughout the probability unit, so just be familiar with what those terms are and what they mean. I don't think you necessarily have to copy them all onto your review sheet unless you want it to be fully complete there. So given sets A, B, and then the sample set of all those letters, we have this Venn diagram, and then you had to fill in some different information about unions of sets, intersections, things like that. So here's what you should have all the way up through. Let's see if I can move this up so you can see G as well. Okay. All right. So then you had to toss a coin 3 times, or pick 3 coins. Sorry, we're not tossing coins. And we have gold, silver, and bronze, but it's without replacement. Okay, so after I pick gold, there's only silver and bronze left to choose from. If I pick silver next, there's only bronze after that. So without replacement, there's going to be less chances of having more outcomes in the end. So there were only 6 outcomes total without replacement. This is a theoretical probability that we're calculating in parts E and F. Whereas in number 3, this is empirical probability because it's based on observation about how many people prefer these different flavors of ice cream. Sad for those lactose intolerant kids. Okay. You've seen definitely a few examples that look like are coloring different Venn diagrams based on the set notation there. So hopefully that's going really well for you. Check out these shadings here. And then here are the other 2 at the bottom. Okay, picking a card and rolling a die are definitely independent events, so you can multiply those probabilities together. Rolling a die 4 times, those are all going to be independent of one another. So multiply those probabilities. Here's a Venn diagram about people's music preference. Here are the probabilities to calculate based on the Venn diagram. And then a test for independence down here. Okay. Number 8, another sample space given. Find the probability of odd, not odd, things like that. Some conditional probabilities thrown in there. Testing for independence again. So it's a longer review, but definitely some of these probability questions tend to go fast anyway. Okay, here's about rolling 2 dice, some probabilities here. A probability with or, so we just got to subtract out that intersection. Same thing, if we're doing an or case, you got to subtract out the intersection in this one, which was the jack of clubs. So that total probability would reduce to 4/13. Okay, we've got a table here. So you had to fill in those totals, calculate some probabilities based on the 2-way table, test for independence, all stuff that you've seen earlier in the review. Some more independence down here. And then find the last page, more conditional, more independence, and then some more with, sometimes these are independent, sometimes these are dependent events. But remember, even if the events are dependent, you can still multiply the probabilities together if we know the next probability. So that's the good news as far as that goes. Since we know how many cookies would be left in the cookie jar, we can continue to determine the probability of dependent events. This last scenario here, you just have to really be careful that if you want 3 cookies that are all the same, it could be 3 chocolate chip, 3 molasses, or 3 peanut butter. We already know 3 peanut butter. There's not a chance that will happen. But if I take these 2 cases and add them together, Total probability that you'll get 3 of the same would be 7 out of 55. If you have any probability questions at all, please let me know. And I will be sending out the test on Wednesday. Thanks, guys.